All right, folks, we are back in the lab with a new project, and this one I'm very excited to have found this. This is a LISK Pony. It's a cold blast. This is about Deech Junior size lantern, and this, much like a junior that I have, is a junior wagon lamp. And I'm pretty sure that's what this one was. You can see it right here, where the reflector connected in here. Now this is made right here in my hometown. That's why I wanted one of these so bad. And this is pretty. I mean, it's really great shape. And I'm not going to go crazy with it. I want to leave some of this. It looks like Japanning to me on there. Pretty darn cool. This mechanism's not exactly doing its thing. I don't know if it's bent or it's just rusty. So we'll see. And I want to see what's going on here. And I'm glad it has all its parts, except for this had one of these globe guards that would come across, come down here on each side. Somebody cut them off. And this is not the first old lantern I've seen with people that do that. But all right, so we're gonna clean this baby up. I already took the bail off because I was so excited to get started on this, and I forgot to turn the camera on. So it bail's off so I don't get that in the way. And we're gonna look this thing over. This is exciting. All right, so this kind of mechanism is much like the junior. Okay, here is a RAYO pony number 21. And RAYOs, I think, were made in Rochester, so they look exactly the same, pretty much, don't they? How about that? This one, if you saw the video, I had to steal the globe and the chimney out of a China-made modern lamp, but looks great in there. You'd have to look real close to realize, well, I look at the top, you know it's not. But yeah, so they got the same. Yeah, boy, they look identical. Maybe they are. Yeah, boy, everything about them's the same. I don't think this is brass, though. We'll see. I don't think it is. Well, I think it is. There's brass under that. How about that? That's good to know. Okay, so we can use this here as an example if we're looking at things, and you can see, like I said before, there's these holes here. It matches up with this here. And this bit of solder here is where I'm pretty sure the side mount was, the side clip. Pretty neat. All right, so we're gonna clean this up, and this is gonna look different than this, because I'm gonna leave some of this Japanning on here, but I want to see what's underneath all this stuff. That's probably brass. I'm pretty sure that's brass. So I'll be able to look at this and see, why is this mechanism not closing up everything right? Let's see. Really no reason except for it being rusty. I'm thinking, okay, the more I do it, the more it's working, so it's apparent that this just hadn't been used. It hasn't been lifted in ages. So, okay, we'll clean that up. Cool. Here we go. Okay, that'll be no problem. Clean that up. So I'm going to keep this around so we can compare things as we go through it. Now, very gently try to get it baby off of here. Oh, I know I moved it. I don't want to use older metals. With brass, they crack. You don't want to crack them. Ah, it is brass. Cool. That's a little worked in there. Let's see how easily that comes loose. Okay. Nice. Great. And the fill spout comes loose. I'm not sure if that's brass or not. I don't think it is. We'll find that out. Take a look. Tank looks great. Amazing, actually. Huh. That's good to know. That's great. No worries then. Maybe we'll get this baby fired up today. Today, I tell you. Okay, well, we'll get this all polished up nice. This will polish up. Oh, still got great movement. Great. Kind of weird shape, isn't it? Well, it's the shape of this one. All right. It's much shorter. Interesting. So, put that in a wheel. This we'll do with the Dremel. This will clean up on the Dremel. That appears to be brass as well. It is indeed. Great. All right. Okay. So we got some of the big chunks up. The metal on this thing's in great shape. Probably going to be a number of reassessments as to, oh, I see red paint. I see red paint. Interesting. So maybe it was red paint over the Japanning. Let me get a look close at that. Got to double up on my uppy-closey glasses here. Take a look with me, why don't you? See the red? Trying to make sure that, well, just out of curiosity, that it appears that the red is on top of the black. And I don't see the red anywhere else. Oh, there's a little. Hopefully we get all these mechanisms working again, just from, ooh, stuff appears to be coming out of the air tubes. That's all right. Oh, I probably did that by doing this, so let me Keep doing that. Get this rust out of here. Cool. Got some junk out of it. Okay, so let's look at some of these small parts here. So I'm trying to study and see what happens when I work on this brass here. I want to make sure I don't overdo it. Get through it because I don't think this is solid. I think it's plated. But I am gonna work on the inside a little bit. Use a softer, less aggressive brush. Yeah, I want to try to get through some of this heavy tarnish before sitting here wasting buffing bits to try to get through it with the polish. It's under there, it's just going to take some work. Okay. Before I take that bit off, I'm going to use it in here for a second. Hot. Friction, man. I pretty much killed this drill bit, but this is why I'm doing the nasty stuff with it, because it's near the end of its life. I thought I'd use it up. Let it go out with a bang. All right, I'm gonna try nylon bit on this burner, because it seemed to work on the RAYO pretty well. Okay, first we're gonna try the burner a little bit. Oops. All right, let's try it on the inside a little bit. Okay, good. I'm barely pressing on this. Just gonna go through layer by layer and just kind of see. These little brush marks it's leaving, I can make that go away with the polish. All right, so we got a little work on the small parts down here. And before I go to polish, I'm going to work on the body a little bit. Ah, and I see pet number. It's buried down there. So I think what I'm going to do to start out is I'm not going to strip this, nor am I going to put it on the big wheel. There's just certain areas that I'm going to clean up, and the rest I'm going to scrub, which is not going to take this paint off in these things, but I'm going to scrub it probably with a nylon pad, and then treat it and see what it looks like. But I do want to get in all these crannies and stuff and get this, there's dirt on it. So in the meantime, I'm going to clean up these threads and maybe clean up in here and in here. Now I noticed that there is a sleeve in here. I better save that. Around where the burner went in. So this, I wonder if this was factory. That was there. It looks like a shim of some kind. Maybe somebody had a problem with this moving around. Pretty cool. So we'll save that. Oh yeah, this is gonna look so pretty. Oh, there's, look at it, more red, some red paint showed up here. Pretty cool. That'll pop. That'll pop when it's oiled. I think it's time for a fresh piece of steel wool. All right, where was I? Oh, yes. I like watching all this paint and stuff kind of just appear. Red paint, black paint, rust, metal. Peeling away the ears. But I'm leaving a ton of years on it. That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay. That's about as far as I want to go. Look at that. I love that beautiful black paint, red paint. Awesome. That's what I'm going for. Right there. But I'm not going to put a polish on this because it would look funny. But I do want to polish this up a little bit. I've just aiding in the polishing a little bit with steel wool. Well, she ain't brass, but she's pretty anyway. Okay, what's next? Oh, do this a little bit. Wish there was something creative I could do with these cut-off globe guards. But I can't think of anything that would be a little more correct for this. Could do that. I could grind them down a little bit. That might be kind of fun, just for giggles. Okay, so let's do some treating. And this is linseed oil with about 5% kerosene in it. And as usual, I start with my paintbrush to get all the corners and stuff, and then I'll wipe it all up. Well, I didn't clean this brush too well after I used it the last time, because this linseed oil will stiffen. It'll stiffen your towels, and it'll stiffen your brushes. And I think we're gonna fire this baby up tonight. Or at least see if it holds fluid. If it doesn't hold fluid, then tonight may not be. Ooh, wow. Don't know if you just heard that, but I just got a child abduction warning on my phone. Yikes. Don't like hearing that kind of thing. Okay, let's see just how the attitude of this lantern changes as we oil it up. This will probably smell for a little while when I fire it up, because I'm putting this almost anywhere, because there are areas that I may not be into here in many years with this thing. Right. I can whiten out. Okay, so I'll finish this up, and I'll be back when it's time to wipe it all down. All right, so we got it all brushed up, and now we're gonna wipe it off to our desired amount of glossiness or lack thereof. I am not a fan of the wet look on old lanterns, especially incredibly old lanterns like this. It just looks like, and I've stated this before, it looks like when you go into like Auto Trader or some kind of thing and look at cars for sale, and people just slather the living hell out of their leather seats and their tires with some kind of Armor All kind of stuff. It just looks so cheesy. Regardless of the quality of tire that it's on, it just looks silly to me. Just my preference, that's all. So I don't like the super glossy look. Glass, I like the glass to be very clean. Okay, let's start wiping this off and see what it looks like. It just already looks fantastic. I freaking love it. Love the way it looks right now. Let's start at the bottom. Well, I see that while I was out of town for the weekend, one of my cats that loves this room slept on my towels because I am seeing incredible amounts of cat fur as I'm wiping this off. So I'm gonna have to get another rag to wipe off this to get those little hairs off. Hey, it's you know, I knew what I was getting myself into, having pets. And you've seen that if you watch my channel, you'll see that I have gone a lot further in the restoration with most of my other projects. When I mean further, I mean by like stripping off paint and, you know, throwing stuff on the grinder and all that kind of things, the table grinder. But I buy stuff for the reason. The lanterns I like to fix up are ones that I have to go nuts with and clean up like that. So I wouldn't buy something that was ready to plop on a shelf all by itself. I would want to have it come through my hands first and me do my thing like I'm doing now to make it look the way I want it to look. This I didn't know when I saw it on the shelf. It looked like all rust to me, surface rust, and not these layers of paint or anything. Let's take a look here. Yeah. And that might be a small percentage too glossy for me, but by tomorrow it will have faded a bit. I can still get a little more off. I'm big into lanterns that have stories. And the store where I bought this story time with Brad. The store where I bought this, the owner was, we were talking about LISK because I bought this in Canandaigua and that's where it was made, which is 5 minutes up the road here. He was telling me about his aunt had given him, many, many years ago, his aunt had given him whole place settings, like stacks of plates that were made by LISK, and they all were still packaged and had their for sale tags and everything still on them. And, you know, he had cherished them. He never, you know, never took the labels off or anything like that. And he's telling me that her aunt was on her deathbed and said, come closer, and wanted to whisper something to him. And she says, I stole all those plates because she used to work at the LISK factory making plateware. So, and she said she never sold them, never used them because she felt bad about stealing them. And she told her nephew, who she left them to, that she had stolen them from her workplace. Interesting story, right? All right, this looks great. All right, let's put her back together. Okay. Oh, that works much better now. Excellent. Actually, I see where I did bend this. It didn't bend it back. Let's see if I can do that now. Beautiful. Happy with that. Okay, let's put a fresh wick in here. What did I do with the old one? I'll find it. Man, I am going through a ton of this 3/4 wick. I'm glad, because I've been wanting to buy the kind that is not this kind. Okay. Excellent. I want to make sure that's trimmed right before you fire it up. Yeah, see, I didn't run water in here. Don't have to worry about the tank. It's so nice and clean in there. Oh, these things are green for being so old. Yes, okay. Seats in there just fine. Not going to polish this. Going to leave it like this, kind of half done kind of deal here. Okay, beautiful. Hopefully this is strong enough to lift this baby up, which hopefully it'll flow a little better. Oh, I forgot something. Put the shim in there. All right. I will try to find out if that belongs in here, like out of the factory. And I don't think I need it. I'm taking it out. Yeah, that didn't go in there just right. And it did before. Okay. Get in there, Mr. Week. Well, I'm skeptical. I see why. I must have bent it somehow a little bit. Sorry for the shaking. There's a cat cleaning herself. All right. Once again, Ah, okay. I get it now. I get it. How about that? All right, let me, before we fuel it up, I'm gonna go get a cleaner rag to wipe this down with, get the darn cat hairs off it. Okay. Let's put a globe in there. And I made a little mess of the globe because it was sitting behind the table grinder. It received much grinder shrapnel and my hands are covered in oil. So, right. All right. LISK Pony Cold Blast with its very cool patina, red and black paint. The boys in the group are gonna love that. They will, they will. And I'm glad that they will like that. All right, let's fuel it up. And then let that wick do a little wicking, and then we'll light it up. Come on now. Okay, well, let's put some fuel in now. See how much I put in. Ah, that's plenty. Okay, wick. Do your little wicking. Okay, let's let that. I'm gonna wait till that gets a bit of a pinkish hue. Right there. So I'm just gonna watch that wick, and it turns pink because of the red dye that's in the kerosene, and then I'll know. Okay, if you can see, we've got a pinkish hue to the wick. We're gonna fire this thing up, and I see no leaks. I didn't think I'd see any leaks. Come on now. Ah. Oops. Okay. We're just gonna let that burn off a little bit. Whoa. Nice, there's a nice flame right there. LISK Pony Cold Blast. So happy to finally get my hands on one. Nice. Hey, all right. Well, that another project down, folks. And look at the light shooting out of that. Very happy. And this one's, I'm not selling this one. This one's not going anywhere. This is staying with me. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a LISK Pony. My first LISK. Hopefully not my last. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you go change it.